did you ever have a mentor along the way?
Oh, sure.
Somebody that helped you
No,
get
absolutely.
there? And are you
Yeah.
mentoring somebody right now?
Formally, I've mentored people. I do not have a mentor in our mentor program, or mentee in our mentor program right now, but I will have one. I had somebody, they graduated and went off to run a part of the business. So yeah, no, I definitely do it. And the last person I was a mentor for was a woman who'd worked with me for years and just didn't have the confidence to move up to the next level, and I worked with her, and fortunately she did move on. So.
And who do you go to for advice? Maybe not an official mentor for you, but when the going gets tough, who advises
George.
you?
I go to my board. Oh, I do. I go to my board. I have a very active board, and we just had a board meeting last week, and I get great counsel from my board. It's a board of only 7 people, which kind of makes it easier because it's a small, more intimate group, and I go to them. That's one of my main sources of feedback and input.
Don, who do you go to for feedback?
My wife. That's an honest answer.
Very smart man.
She's tough, and she tells me what I need to hear. Yeah, and those are the most valuable people in your life, not people that tell you what they think you want to hear. Yeah. So that's very important. But I think mentoring is one of the most powerful forces in life. Mentoring has been my passion for over 40 years. And it's very interesting about mentoring is it's a two-way street. You're not just giving the mentee something, they're giving you something back. Really, really important. In fact, advice to everybody, when you're in a career, you should try to mentor 20-somethings because you never know what might happen. In my case, there are 2 20-somethings that I was mentoring 20 years ago that are now the running NBC. Both Jeff Zucker and Jeff Gaspin were 2 mentees of mine, and now they're my bosses. So you never know.
And if I'm correct, one of your mentees just walked through the door, right?
Pardon?
One of your mentees just walked
Oh, yeah.
through the door.
Well, actually, it's an interesting point. It doesn't always work out. True story. True story. I've been very involved with mentoring, particularly women and minorities, my whole career. And 25 years ago, I was covering the Civil War in El Salvador, and I saw this young pup reporter, Jose Diaz-Balart, and I walked up to him and I said, I think you've got a lot of potential. For God's sake, stop throwing your arms around like that. If you were there this afternoon, I failed. But I want to point out something else that's very important. We're talking about how does diversity work, and it's very important. There's somebody else I want to point out in terms of mentoring. There's a man named Ramon Escobar. I sought Ramon out. At NBC, we had no Hispanic executives, and I sought him out specifically to mentor, to groom him to become an executive. He became the youngest news director in the 70-year history of NBC. Yes. Went on to be a major executive at NBC News, and is now running Telemundo's network news operation. Yeah. And here's the empowering part. Now, it's not just about every day he's on a call with NBC News, influencing NBC News' decision, enlightening them about the critical issues that involve Hispanics today. And I just want to point something else out in terms of this young man that I saw 25 years ago. One of the proudest moments I've had in my career was 3 weeks ago when something historic happened in Arizona. A civil rights issue of our time, of our generation. And there was only one network news anchor in the world that was there that day to cover that story. It was Jose Diaz-Balart. And what's also important, Jose just did not report for Telemundo. He was the lead on NBC Nightly News, and he was on the lead on the Today Show the next day. And that's something to be proud of. It's a critically important story, and hats off to you for taking a lead on that, Jose.
Very good. John, who do you go for advice? Do you mentor somebody? Ramon Escobar, by the way, is one of my mentors.
You see, how about that? Yeah. That's amazing.
First of all, and this is going to sound odd, but being a CEO is a fairly lonely job.
I can imagine.
You know, who do you talk about? You know, you don't get together, you can't talk about the boss. You know, you're kind of out of bosses to talk about.
Unacceptable.
That's exactly right. So you know, boards of directors are helpful. Frankly, our industry is going through enormous change as we speak. There's regulatory reform going through. There is a belief that we as banks caused the economic downturn, Katrina, the avian flu. I mean, we've caused most of the natural and man-made disasters. So, I mean, so actually as an industry, we actually work fairly close together. I've had both proteges or mentees and been a mentor. It's a very strong cultural part of our company because there's no place in business school or any school where they teach you corporate survival, corporate life. I mean, they just don't do that. They teach you, you know, fundamental disciplines about accounting or finance or whatever the case is. But so much of being a successful leader is not only mind share, but heart share, which equals market share. Yeah. So you have to appeal to people's hearts and help them along the way. And we have a number of formal programs that we have to help people who are high potential, to help fill the needs we have. So there's all that going on, but again, whatever it is, it's not enough. I think mentoring and partnering and collaborating, and we have team member research groups, Amigos for Latinos, Checkpoint for African Americans, and all these things going on. But I think careers are a third you, a third your company, and a third your boss. And that's the formal part, but the informal part is probably just as important. People join companies and quit managers and quit cultures all the time. And that's one of the real challenges in American business.